Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Impressions Pendant. This is the 136753. This is actually one of my favorite fixtures from Hubbardton Forge. It's very simple, it's got beautiful clean lines, and it throws a ton of light. So I can use this in all kinds of different installations. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself, and that's going to be independent of the rod it's hanging from. So that bottom part is 5.3 inches high, 18.4 inches in diameter. The overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of that fixture to the actual size. It's going to give you lots of different heights to choose from. If you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, kind of down in the corner there, you're going to see a chart. It's going to have all of these different overall heights listed there. It's also going to have a listing of which rod combinations you're going to be using to get to those targeted heights. And you'll see that a lot of those are going to work perfectly for you. This is going to give you a range anywhere from being as short as 15.9, which basically makes it a semi-flush, which is awesome for lots of you guys. But it'll also go to 60.9, almost 61 inches overall height. It also ships with 180 inches of wire. So if you need this to be longer than that, I'm going to call it 61 inches, you only have to order additional kits like these from us. If you have to go well beyond that, 180 inches overall height, let's say you need this to be 240 inches, which is possible, send me a quick email, say I'm looking at the 136753, I need it to be 150 inches, 160, whatever your situation is, and tell me if it's a slope or non-slope ceiling. I'm going to take your email. It's going to go through Hubbardton Forge's customs department and come back to us with an answer. We do customs every day here with them, so it's not a big deal. Let's hop and talk about what this is all about as far as the stems go. So Hubbardton's going to be using this system of these interconnected stems, and on the ends of them, they have threading on the inside, both sides, okay? And then what puts them together is called a connector, and the connector also has threading on the ends, and this goes inside of those pipes. So you're going to be getting automatically with this piece 3 of the 12s, 1 of the 6, and 1 of the 3. So that's what's going to be coming already. Like I said before, if you want to go beyond that, 61 inches overall height, that's standard product that you can get with this, then you only have to email me and get a quote for another kit. Totally simple. Very inexpensive too. So let's kind of go beyond that and talk about how to put this together. So before you put your glass on, well, before we do that, let's talk about the installations instructions PDF. So that's available for you right now. If you look over on that side of the screen, midway down, there's going to be a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So check that out. It is going to show you how to put this together, just like I'm talking about. Put down a towel, put your fixture down before the glass, and then you basically are going to build your way up. So you're going to take a connector, you're going to take those wires, they're going to go one by one through each of the pieces, and you've already determined which of these you need well before you do this part, don't forget that. So you're going to go through a connector, you're going to go through a pipe, you're going to go through a connector, you're going to go through a pipe. Eventually you're going to get up to the top of this and you're going to be exiting what's called the canopy. And this canopy is the part that goes on the ceiling, and that goes over your 4-inch junction box. This is what you guys have on your ceiling. Fits over it like that, you'll never see it. This is a 5-inch round, domed. It's also slope ceiling adaptable already to 45 degrees. There's a knuckle right here at the top, like your finger, and it basically does that. So you're all set up for that 45-degree slope. So moving on from there, let's talk about the glass really quick. It's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's Opal Glass, which is an opaque white glass. You can't see through it. I'll talk more about the Opal Glass later in the video. On the bottom of this is going to be a frosted glass diffuser. It is flat, frosted, so light can still get through it, a lot of light, but you won't be able to see up into the bulbs. There's a little bit of a gap between the outer glass and the diffuser on the bottom, which allows air to go in, and that's how all lighting is cooled by convection, basically. It's going to bring in air from the bottom and expel air from the top. That said, the top of this is open, so you're actually going to get a beautiful burst of light hitting your ceiling and going all around the room. That's why I talk about this being one of my favorite fixtures, because it just does so many great things. So let's move on from there. Let's talk about what's going on inside of this. It's going to have 3 of these porcelain medium base sockets, okay, and they're going to be kind of pinwheeled. So they're on their sides going around in a pinwheel. You're going to be able to use up to 100 watts in each of these if you want to go incandescent old school. And this is just a medium base, so it's the bigger one we grew up with, and it just screws in like that. Totally easy. So you got like 1, 2, 3. And like I said, it throws light up, throws light down. This is a great fixture if you guys are putting this over a breakfast table. It's also awesome to put over a kitchen island for lots of different reasons. Besides producing so much light, it's easy to clean because it's glass, and that's good if you're doing kitchen islands. I talk about LEDs all the time. This is a great candidate for LEDs. Remember, it's going to be an A19 bulb. That's just the size of the bulb we all grew up with, a very standard bulb. LEDs, you're basically talking about whatever you want to get into this. As far as the size goes, it's got to stay that way. But as far as the light coming out of an A19, you can usually find these up to 100 watt equivalent out in the world. This is a phosphorus version. You see the little lines of orange in there? Those are phosphorus lines. This is just an old school LED that has that plastic coating on it. But like I said, you can get these totally everywhere. I can get these at my grocery store in Vermont, like even a drugstore at this point. They're just everywhere. When we talk about the color of light coming out of LEDs, I'm really specific about what I like. 2700 Kelvin is that super yellow light like a setting sun. That would be 2700K, and that'll be listed on the box for these things or listed online. Way on the other side of that is called daylight, and don't let it fool you. Daylight is not a warm light. That's going to be that blue-white light that looks like it's on an overcast day or a hospital waiting room. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. Not a big fan of that. I like what's right in the middle, warm white, which is 3,000 Kelvin or 3,000 K. That's the light coming down on my hands right now. See how nice this looks? It looks like the light that comes out of the old incandescent bulbs we used to have when we were kids, and still bopping around. But 3,000 Kelvin LEDs look a lot like that. It's a nice crisp light. Just can't say enough good things about it. So if I was probably going to be doing this fixture, I would go, remember, A19s, you got 3 of them. 100 watt max if you want to go for an incandescent, but I think you can just find some, either a 60 watt equivalent, 75 watt equivalent, or 100 watt equivalent, 3 of them for this fixture. It's a dimmable fixture. Don't be afraid to put it on a dimmer. If you're going incandescent, those older dimmers are going to be fine. If you're going to be doing LED, tell your installer that you're doing LED bulbs so they put the correct dimmer on the wall for you. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's Opal Glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these 2 pieces, and it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really pretty. They're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with, measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes, widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads laying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton forged fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.